Internet! Ho, ho, ho! Did I trick you? Did I trick you? Did it seem like you were frozen? Did it seem like you were frozen in time? Well, you weren't. It was me. I was frozen by a robot. What's going on, everybody? Hold on, my phone's ringing. My phone's ringing. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hold on, I got all these crazy notifications coming in right at the beginning of the show. You guys, I've got a pregnant spouse. I have to check my phone. I'm sorry. She's pregnant. I got to check if she sends me stuff. Okay. Cool. Got it. We got it all sorted out here. Everything's good. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. What up? Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's May 16th. What's up, Mr. Chips? Come on, bud. Are you okay? Come on. You're a good boy. Yes, my buddy. Come on. Up, up. Up, up, bud. Come on. Hop on top. Oh, there we go. We got ourselves a Mr. Chips here. It is May 16th, 2018. Welcome. Welcome to the show of rambling madness about aquariums and things along those lines. Haha, I said it. That's right. I got it right out of the gate. If I sound a little bit funny to you guys today, it's because I am battling the convention crud / airplane travel cold, whatever flu, I don't know, whatever it is. I am battling that today. Not dead yet, so the show must go on. Some people say, hey, you're supposed to rest and not work, but I'm just working slower today. You know what I mean? I'm just taking it easy. Just taking it easy, you guys, and still getting as much work as I can done. In a unfortunate, what do you call that? In an unfortunate chain of events, like a coincidental chain of events, my job for tomorrow, swinging a hammer and stuff tomorrow, has been delayed because it turns out my client is also ill. So that kind of sucks. I was kind of counting on making some money this week, but not a big deal. We'll just keep trudging along, you guys. As you guys know, I don't normally do a live show. On Thursdays, because Thursdays I normally try to schedule some of the other work that I do, whether you call it carpentry or whatever. I normally schedule that for the Thursdays, but that means tomorrow, no work, because, but that means I just will do other work. I'll be starting some other jobs tomorrow, which is all good. It's just a happenstance that's what's going on. So I figured I'd just give you guys an update on that. For whatever reason, I don't even know if anybody's even interested in that or not. Let's see. We also have to start out and say who was first to the chat. Bald and Dangerous, he's on the notifications. He knows what's up. He got it right away. First to the chat, Mr. Dougie from the UK, otherwise known as Bald and Dangerous in the chat. Gone Wishing is here. Good to see you. Otherwise known as Charlie. Everyone's changing their YouTube handle names, and it's just wild. Hard to keep track of y'all. AJ's Aquariums is here. Good to see you, AJ. Daryl Dimer, how do you doing? Good to see you. And we've got a super chat from Rumbust right off the bat, even before the show started. And somebody was saying we had thumbs downs before the show started. Hey, man, that's just life. Don't worry about it. Some people feel like they want to hit the thumbs down. That's just a thing. If you got to hit the thumbs down, hit the thumbs down. It's all good. It's all good, you guys. It's a free world that we live in, and you get to express your opinions. So if you feel like the thumbs down is the opinion that you got, that's cool. If you got some constructive criticism, I would much appreciate it. Go ahead and throw it down there in the comments. If you have a question in the future that you would like me to answer and you are watching the replay of this, throw that in the comments too and be like, hey man, I got a question for you. Oftentimes, a lot of the videos that I make are in regards to questions that people ask. So I know that I don't necessarily text reply to every single thing that people post onto my YouTube page. I get it. I understand. But I really do make an effort to think into my workflow a little bit. If people have asked me a question and that I'll do my best to help answer that, even in a video format later on. I think an example of that would be, how to breed the cherry shrimp, which I uploaded this over the last weekend. I know a lot of people have been asking me about how to breed the cherry shrimp and stuff like that. So that was one of my main reasons for doing that video. Along with, people are pretty regularly asking me about aquarium plants and all that kind of stuff. So I try to throw that kind of stuff into videos. You got to bear with me today, you guys. I'm probably going to be coughing. I'll try to cough off the mic as much as possible. I got my iced water here. Very American of me to have this iced water, as I found out in the European travels. Whew. Not a lot of people here today. It's a mellow Wednesday. Must be beautiful out there in the world if we don't have this many people showing up. But if there is a video or something like that you like, don't forget to share it out. We have to share it out because I don't think YouTube's going to do it all that much anymore. I was actually looking at the numbers earlier today, and I realized that we crossed 13,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Golf clap, you guys. We're over 13,000 subscribers, and it looks like YouTube sends out notifications to about 600 people out of that. So I think if we want to get more people into the group here, into the whatever you want to call it, I don't even know, the Oceaneers. That's what we call it. I forgot. If we want to get more people into the Oceaneers, the group of Oceaneers here, then I think it's the responsibility is going to fall on us to share it out there and let people know what's up. And maybe it's a thing you like, and maybe you want to share it out there and be like, this guy sucks, and I want to just let everybody know that he sucks. That too. That is also welcome. Why not? I think it's pretty funny. CRS Aquatics is here. What's up? Saying he's from Scotland. The weather is never nice there. Summer was a Friday last year. I think you might be onto something there. I was actually I was listening to an old Henry Rollins spoken word tape the other day, and he was talking about the UK and the weather out in the UK, and I think hit the nail right on the head there. Got it right on the nose, right? Yeah, so Wednesday, excuse me. I don't know how long this stream will last today, if I'm going to keep coughing every 30 seconds, so sorry about that, you guys, but we do have a video segment today, and we'll get to the video segment as we move along here. I'll say what's up to a bunch of the people that have showed up. JH Aquatics, Annie Confetti, Rickab Harris, what's up? The Turtle Girl is here. Dirty Old Farmhand 3. Good to see you. Handpan, what's up? Good to see you. Tiger Bite is here. What's going on? Terry's Tropical Tanks, Mr. Dan Squires himself, reminding people to check out the fantastic Patreon community. He posted a link to it in the chat right there. And he's reminding people that Friday's show is all about the Patreon questions. Yes, if you guys post stuff up on the Patreon questions, typically on Fridays I will answer them, as opposed to like a short typed out response. You know what I mean? So normally get a time to go back and forth. Like if you have a Patreon question, it's great to be here on a Friday because I'll probably answer it. I'll even show it highlighted up on screen as long as it's not, crass or anything like that. Rocky is here. Barb Vision is here with a question right off the bat saying, hi, can anyone help me with my Java fern leaves? Keep dying like 1 or 2 every week or so. They go yellow with brown dots on them, and it's not that they are making new ones. So okay, so it sounds like your Java fern is not growing anything new. And some of the leaves are dying off. First question I would have with that is if it's a brand new plant, it's most likely in a full-on conversion from being grown above water. I'm just going to try and stick with the layman's terms here. Being grown above water and then now being fully underwater, which people would refer to that as immersed above water, submersed below water. It'll normally have to completely convert into growing underwater. The reason for that is that the main reason for that is that air will carry a lot more CO2 in it than water does. So that's going to be the main thing. So I would check if it's brand new plant. It's more often than not going to go through that. If you are just having deficiencies dying off, then you really want to look into what's going on with how you're fertilizing your aquarium or what is possibly going on with your water quality to find out what's going on. There are some pretty easy fertilizers out there these days that you could that you can supplement your water column for. One of them that I recommend is Easy Green from the Aquarium Co-op because it is just that. It's easy to dose. It's really easy to add a little bit of fertilizer to your water column, which, Java ferns more often than not are getting most of their nutrient from the water column. They don't want, you don't want those roots to be buried and stuff like that. If you do have the roots buried, you need to get them up out of the substrate. If you planted it that way, that will always be a problem. Also, with Java fern or any other kind of rhizome plant, if you've buried that under the substrate, that will normally be a problem also. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what direction to go in. I don't, without like kind of a picture or a real diagnosis of what your water quality is, hopefully that will help you at least start piecing together what's going on with your stuff, with your Java fern. Typically, lighting is not an issue with Java fern. Need a little water in there. It's getting hoarse in here. There's a horse in the hospital. So that really, lighting shouldn't be an issue or anything like that with a Java fern. And if it's dying off like that, I would definitely think it's one of those things. Probably, it's most likely a fertilizer nutrient that's missing. But I'd have to actually see how the leaves were dying off to tell you exactly which one it is, which is why I was kind of recommending Easy Green, because it'll basically add in a lot of, in a real simple way without going too extreme, not going too extreme into... making dramatic changes or anything like that. So, but those are normally the things that I find when people are having issues with their Java fern. Those are the first things that, those are normally the things. It's one of those things that just has been a little bit of a snafu, which oftentimes, like with Java fern, I'll find that people plant it under the substrate, like they stuff it all the way in there. And I'm like, dude, you got to pull that out. And they're like, oh man, brain fart, and that does happen from time to time. So Mateo says, hello from Idaho. Did I miss the vid? I don't think so. Are we live? I think we're still live on the internet. I don't know. My encoder says it's still live. Let's see here. Let me read through the chat real quick. Baby Aquarium says, thanks for liking my video on Instagram. Well, you're very welcome. I have a minor engagement with Instagram. I don't go crazy on Instagram all that much, but I do definitely have some stuff. I post stuff up onto Instagram. I wouldn't say that I'm like, buck wild about posting stuff up there, but I do try to get some things posted to Instagram. I find it to be a pretty convenient platform to utilize. But I mean, other than it doesn't have videos or anything like that. Whoa. But generally speaking, if people have something good up there, I'll hit the like button. Why not? Thank you for producing a cool video, Let's see here. Let's look through the chat. Sunset Aquatic says, "Hey, bruh, I need a small snail that can tolerate low temps and won't eat live plant matter in a garden pond." The low temp is going to kind of be the problem, but I wouldn't worry about plant matter being consumed as much in a garden pond. Let's see, bladder snails or anything like that, pond snails, are probably going to be your best bet. Although they will eat a little bit of plant matter, I wouldn't be super stressed out about it in a pond. No, my main reason for that is that ponds are typically seasonal, so you will have some real robust growth for typically 5 or 6 months or something like that, and then most of it will die off. So I wouldn't be in my experience, I wouldn't be super stressed out about the pond snails. And even in my 240, I have bladder snails, aka pond snails, that do eat a little bit of the plants. They munch on the plants a little bit, but it's 240-gallon aquarium. I don't stress out about it that much. The only times I ever really stressed out about them is in nano aquariums. There's real small, taking these real macro photography kind of stuff in there, which can really affect what you're going for in a nano aquarium. Other than that, I don't really worry about them, and my big bodies of my bodies of water are big enough that it's just really not a big concern of mine. And I feel like a pond falls right in line with that they're generally just big enough that I wouldn't be too worried about them consuming plants or anything. Let me see here. And I think ram's horn snails can handle the cold. I think. Could be 100% wrong, but I swear I saw ram's horns in the overwinter tank. I think I saw ram's horns in the overwinter tank a while back, not that long ago. So I think that they can handle the cold weather, but who really knows? Who really knows? But I think basically where I would be at is I would just go with bladder snails, because the ebb and flow of the pond is that it will just grow super robust and then die out over the winter typically. So the snails will die back because there's not as much food and anything like that. So but the pond will normally outgrow the snail's ability to eat it. Let's see here. Oh, we've got a $20 super chat from the Zombie Drummer. What's up, my man? That's big time. But we've got a question here. Saying, can't keep the tannins in my planted 10-gallon guppy grow out from iced tea to crystal clear in 3 to 4 days. Got fluval stratum, a couple different stem plants, along with a dwarf aquarium lily. Hang on back running only mechanical filtration. Well, you already answered the first part that I would wonder about, is that if you were running carbon on your filter, it'll normally pull out the tannins out of there pretty rapidly, and then, of course, start to break down, and then you'd need to get it out of there. But it doesn't sound like you're running carbon or anything like that. So my initial question, I guess, in regards to that, you're probably just going to have to add something that can handle a slower, longer release of tannins. And my recommendation with that would be some Mopani wood. If you could get some Mopani wood, it'll up your tannins sort of, it feels like forever. So that adding, catappa leaves, aka almond leaves, will be much easier to maintain a level of tannin that you're looking for in that tank. But I would definitely get some Mopani wood. It's not super expensive to get. It is just not. I'm gonna be honest here and say it's not the sexiest of woods. You know what I mean? It's kind of gnarled, lumpy chunks and stuff like that. So you do have to work with it a little bit to get it to, really scape up with it. But it's not impossible. It's certainly not impossible. But that's how I keep the tannin so high in the 240 is all that Mopani wood that I added in there. And that helps kind of bridge the gap from, constantly sticking catappa leaves in there. So that would be my best advice, would be to go with some Mopani wood. If you want to keep the tannins high in that tank, I would go that route. And it'll help you keep kind of a blackwater experience with your tank, and which is fantastic for guppies and stuff like that. Especially like my rummy nose. My rummy nose tetra, the rummy nose tetras that I have, which is, I'm going to tell you, so the 240, and one of the things that I was crazy when I went to Interzoo, so I think a lot of people that know me know that Heiko Blair is one of my, I guess he's one of my heroes, you know what I mean? Like just in life. And if you don't know who Heiko Blair is, you should definitely look him up and get familiar with that guy, because he's pretty much just the epitome of, when you get to be about 74 at his age, and you just kind of go like, what all have you been doing? And he's like, boom, 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 boom. It's like every discus book, every biotope type book, any of that kind of stuff out there. He's the guy that's been doing that for years and years and years. He was, when we were at Interzoo, he was celebrating his 50th Interzoo, or 50th year Interzoo. Either way, it was 50 years. And he'd been going there for that long. And he had, the tank that he had on display was basically the 240. I kind of looked at him and I went, hey man, you stealing my style? Which he obviously has no idea what I'm doing, but and he definitely was not. But I basically went there, giant school of rummy nose, sort of blackwater tank, definitely the biotope plants, where he got the rummy nose, where he collected the rummy nose tetras from. And then of course the conversation came up, that there are 3 different species, and yes, and it's a long conversation, but it was super cool to be there and see that. I was like, oh, it's sort of like a little piece of home. Like the 240 is basically here. Let me, oh, here we go. Heiko Blair books. There we go. Where's his Wikipedia page? Dude, where? Well, here's his name. So Heiko Blair is a German. He's a German researcher, author, photographer, and filmmaker. Best known in the scientific community for his contribution to the exploration of fresh and brackish water habitats worldwide. So that's who he is, and that's what it's all about. So, he's, yeah. Oh, he will be 74 this year. I don't know. I was talking to him and he said 74. So, maybe he's like about to turn 74. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's, 73. Yeah. I don't even know my own age sometimes, you guys. So but either way, I was talking with them. They were working on some really cool projects. I'll be talking about those next week. But it was cool when I was there because it was like the 240 was there. And was really cool to be like, actually check out where he collected the fish from, he collected all the plants from, and he brought those all and had them in the tank. But it was also one of the ways that they were helping keep the tannins up in there was some like root wood that they had there, which Mopani, generally speaking, is. You guys, I'm not totally crazy. I still got some Mr. Browns here. You know what I mean? Oh gosh, where'd my handkerchief go? All right. So, sorry, I had to blow my nose. It was making it difficult to talk. So, as I said, I'm still sick, so doing my best today. Sorry, guys, for all the coughing and having to walk over there and blow my nose and stuff. But last thing I want to do is do it right into the microphone, and then people be like, "This guy's disgusting." Yeah, so that was actually really cool. It was a lot of good fun. Having to get to meet Heiko again. Last time I met him was at the Aquatic Experience. Baby Aquarium is asking, will I be at the Aquatic Experience? Yes, I will 100% be at the Aquatic Experience this year, which is in New Jersey. Anybody who's willing to make it to New Jersey, you'll be able to make it to the Aquatic Experience. I know that Corey and I were talking at one point in time about doing a road trip out there, but honestly, I personally felt that the road trip there and back with the convention in the middle was just going to be too long for me to be gone. It really just kind of it was just going to take too long to make the trip that way. So I'm actually going to be flying out and then flying back, mainly because you know, I got to stay tuned in and keep making shows and stuff. You know what I mean? So, Ian says, just looked, and I don't think tickets are even on sale yet. I know that I think tickets are on sale. They might, well, maybe they haven't. Maybe they're not on sale yet, but I think you can sign up to get the email when they do go on sale. If not, because I remember that's how it was last year. Was like, oh, there's an email that came out and said you could buy them, but I don't remember the exact date when that happened. But it would be weird that you couldn't buy them yet. You know. Challenger is asking, what's your aquarium-related dream job? And coincidentally, I have it right here in my hand. See what this is right here? This is a book. This is a book right here by Stefan Hummel and Chris Lukup. Okay, I got to meet both of these gentlemen while at Interzoo, and I will say, fantastic dudes, and their work is amazing. If you can find this book, I would get it. If I were you, I would get it. This thing is listed at €30, so this book right here is probably $40, I think. And I honestly would probably pay $40 for this book, just for the photography and stuff that is in here. And I wouldn't say that making these books is my dream job, but being able to, I think realistically, like, I'm kind of doing my dream job like this much right now. Being able to make shows for you guys, being able to, research things and find new stuff, answer questions and make new videos about the stuff. That basically is my dream job, to be able to do it full time. You know, if some of the projects and things that I'm hoping come through this year, that will definitely be expanding on that, to be doing more collaborations with more creators and stuff like that, with more aquascapers, with more companies, more behind the scenes kind of stuff that we'll be able to do. That basically is my dream job, to be able to kind of be the liaison between I don't necessarily want to go on every collecting trip out there, but I want to go on some for sure. I also want to be able to get behind the scenes with some of the companies that are making stuff and what's their science and what's the kind of stuff that they're doing. And generally be one of those people that doesn't allow the BS to change whatever it is I'm doing. We talked about it a little bit on Real Fish Talk yesterday, that like out of a whole bunch of the companies that we talked to, one of them was very aggressive, very mean, sort of just arguing with me and stuff. And it's a real turnoff to me that, like, oh, the people that are responsible for running this company, they are probably doing good work, but what? It's crazy that you're just yelling at people. You know what I mean? Wasabi Tsunami says Joel will be working for CChem. I would be happy to do some stuff with CChem. I use a lot of their products. I think that CChem is a good company. I think CChem, they're a chemical company. I think they do a lot of good work. They make a bunch of cool stuff. But some of their products I do have some questions about, and one of them has been the Matrix. And, I am one of those people that will just stick to it and just go like, you know what? Like, I'm just not going to take it down. I'm just going to leave it up. And if they don't like it, cool. But, whatever. It's kind of one of those things. But I would not have a problem working with CChem. I really don't have a problem with them. I think they're, like I said, they're a pretty good company. They more often, like 99% of the time, they're doing awesome stuff. Every once in a while you hit a foul ball into the stands and it hits someone in the head and they get injured. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a spectator eating a hot dog. That's not the normal day-to-day thing at baseball, but it does happen from time to time. I feel like it's one of those situations more than anything else. Borg Aquatics says he won't be working for Fluval because they tripping. To be brutally honest with you, I would love to be sponsored by Fluval. I hope I get sponsored by Fluval. Hopefully they thought I wasn't a total dingleberry, You know what I mean? Hopefully they won't think I'm a total dingleberry. Yeah, maybe they want to do some projects or something like that. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious that Hagen was the ones that flew that hosted Corey and I to go out there, which Fluval is a subsidiary of the Hagen company, the Hagen brand. I was very impressed by all of the people that work for that company, all of the people that we were in contact with. They might have been able to trick me for a little while, but we did definitely spend a lot of time with them, and it's like, yeah, I definitely like the cut of your jib, and those guys definitely are working as hard as they can to put out an awesome product. And I think that is, I think that's 100% like obvious to me when I talked to one of the manufacturing guys, and he was like, you know what? We made the first LED light. We didn't like it. We weren't that happy about it. So we went back and we made the Fluval 2.0, which I personally feel is an awesome light. I think that they work great, but they were missing some things. Like you had to buy the light timer and all that kind of stuff, the Wi-Fi controller separately. So they came back to make the Fluval 3.0, and it's got the Wi-Fi timer, controller, all that stuff in it. You're kind of like, oh, they're actually making the improvements on the next product that people were asking for. So, I just think, in all honesty, they're a good company, and most of everybody that I dealt with was pretty darn awesome. So I'm happy to be doing that. Hopefully, if I can, moving forward. I don't know. That's just the thing. I just don't know what's ever going to happen. A lot of people wonder why I collaborate with Corey so much is because of that metric. You know what I'm saying? Like, my personal metric is I don't want to do business I don't want to do business with people that don't care anymore. They don't have integrity. They don't have like none of that stuff is important to them. You know what I mean? So the that's one of the main reasons that I work or I collaborate with Corey. Like he and I are down to go like work on projects and stuff. I don't want to work with or around or for anybody who doesn't have that, at least the basic integrity to know right from wrong, to know left from right, and be able to easily navigate decisions in that nature. So it's like, I'm totally happy with collaborating with Corey. We just spent 2 weeks on the road together, and it's like, hey man, if you got a question of like who somebody is, just go spend 2 weeks with them in hotel rooms and stuff like that in strange lands, and pretty cool dude. But that's why I'm happy to work or collaborate with Corey on projects and stuff. You know what I mean? So I spent many years working for companies that all they wanted to do was ever just extract. We need to get 7% more out of you. We need to get 7% more. It's going to have to be 12% more. We don't care. Those kinds of, that's why it wasn't a big transition for me to be just becoming an independent guy. Because most of the companies I work for didn't provide health care, didn't care about how many hours a day that you worked, you don't get breaks. All those companies that a lot of companies that I work for didn't care about any of the work quality or anything like that for the workers. You know what I mean? And not to say that I worked in like slave factories or anything like that, because I don't know that experience. But it was pretty darn close with a lot of the companies that I worked with. It's one of those things. I was explaining to some people that, at one point in time I managed like 60-man crew, right? And they wanted, and eventually got down to the punchline of like, how much money a week did he make doing that? And it was like, oh, before taxes, $480 a week. Which for all you math wizards out there is $12 an hour. So it was much easier for me to make the decision to go independent instead of just making a real ridiculously low wage, because I could probably just make a ridiculously low wage just doing my own thing. And it's worked out. And so I've gone on this rambling diatribe here to talk about whatever, but it's one of those things that, what's my dream? My dream would be able to help educate a large crowd, share with you guys some of the stuff that I'm working on. I don't know why the dogs are freaking out. Hold on a second. All right, the Biddy Brown was barking up into the sky for no reason. But as I was talking about, the whatever my dream job is to be able to educate, bring stuff forward, show you guys things that I'm working on. As new things come up, I want to be able to share those with you guys, new projects and things like that. Obviously, the long-term thing that I'm planning to work on is to not necessarily be off the grid, but to at least be, I think like probably 80% independent from the, as far as the production and consumption of this household goes. I don't have any kind of, I don't have any preconceived notion that I'm ever going to get to 100%, and that's not even my goal. It's not even my goal because if you're getting to 100% independent from the rest of, I guess, the world or whatever, like you have to take yourself away from the community, and I don't ever want to do that. I don't ever want to be 100% just living on a mountain or anything like that. That's just weird. But I guess that's my long term, which is just sounds like a lot of craziness, but that's the goal. That's the goal. We'll see how it goes. People like Oddball Aquatics with the super chat are going to help be able to do more of those projects. And one of the projects that I've talked about as far as flying around and helping out other people's aquariums, I do have to say we're one step closer to being able to do that from this trip. So hopefully that thing will be coming to a fruition someday. Hopefully. I just imagine that would be one of the coolest shows around, I think. And I'd want to watch it. So that's the show I want to make. I want to make a show that I want to watch. And the only aquarium show out there I have really no inclination of watching. It's just terrible and pretty frustrating, honestly, to watch. But Oddball Aquatics, perfect example of somebody that's contributing right here, saying, came home to a ghost shrimp eating a healthy-looking guppy. The guppy had one red spot. Do I assume the shrimp is a murderer of the fish, or the fish was sick? Pretty rare that a shrimp would even... I mean, I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility that a shrimp could attack a guppy, but it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. That is definitely not a shrimp's, especially a ghost shrimp. It wouldn't not be their first choice of food. It would be sheer desperation, and that would mean that like the biofilm was all dead and stuff like that in your aquarium. So chances are, sick fish or dead fish. If it was swimming around, I would almost think that this was an attack situation. I've heard people that are like, shrimp have attacked them. And I've also heard people that planaria eat their shrimp, which has really not been my experience, but not to call them liars. It's kind of like, all right, okay, well, let's take it at face value a little bit. But it would be pretty rare that a shrimp would do that, but it is pretty common if a fish were to die, they will go and start cleaning it up, basically breaking it down and cleaning it up. That does happen a lot with the dead. With it live, super rare, and as far as I know, non-existent. I've never seen it personally. Johnny O'Free says, my ghost shrimp attacked my beta. Yeah, there we go. Perfect example. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying I've never seen it, and it feels a little crazy to me, but crazy stuff happens all the time. I mean, there was a whole bunch of headlines that jaguars were eating somebody's baby the other day, and that never happens near me, but sometimes a mountain lion does eat somebody. So I don't think it's impossible, because as I've read from other people in the past that they could possibly be going for the slime coat on a fish. And I've never had a murderer autosynclus, for example, but I have read about it enough times that autosynclus will sometimes attach themselves to other fish because they're looking to try and get the biofilm off of or the slime coat off of a fish. So it could be possible. Like I said, I've just never personally seen it myself, nor have I seen like a video of it. Let's see. Oddball Aquatic says everyone else looks healthy, and it was a big shrimp, and had the guppy by the face. It's possible it was a sick fish. That would be the most likely candidate to me, is that it was either a really sick, almost dead fish, if it maybe still had a little bit of life to it, but my guess would be a dead fish. But apparently you guys got some super aggressive, some super aggro ghost shrimps, you know? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you got some kind of weird water situation going on where your shrimps are going post-apocalyptic. Like maybe they got the rage from 28 Days Later. I mean, that was a documentary, right? Right? I don't know. But most likely it would be a dead fish. I've definitely seen shrimp eat dead fish a million times, but I've never seen them like attack and get one. But crayfish and crawdads, oh yeah, I've seen them do it time and time again. They are buck wild murder machines, I'll tell you that. Like, yeah, any of them crayfish, they'll definitely murder your fish if they get a chance. Ian says, only thing I've ever seen a ghost shrimp do is get eaten. Yeah, that's pretty much my experience with ghost shrimp. I've almost always ever had them where they were food. They were a food source. So, Jay and Keller, Jand and Keller. Let's just go Jand and Keller from here on out. It says 2 shrimp enter, 1 shrimp leaves. It would be a shrimp Thunderdome. You know what I mean? All right, so we are caught up on the super chats. We're caught up on the regular chat. I feel like we're caught up on the regular chat. I rambled on about some nonsense. I showed you guys a book. We talked about some of the Interzoo stuff. Anybody's waiting for an Interzoo video, that will be coming up at some point in time. Let's go to the video. Yeah, here we go. Oh, it's starting in the middle. How smooth is that, you guys? Smooth as butter. All right, so as you all know, I've been gone for a little while, so the maintenance has begun. The maintenance has begun, is beginning, is continuing, and it is time to shoot a little video for that. So figured I'd walk you guys through a little bit of cutting the filters and changing those out and checking out what's going on in the sumps. You can see the green hose there. I had to get a little bit of a top off here on the 150. It is running a little bit imbalanced. I'm going to go ahead and be doing a bit of a water change, and on top of this maintenance, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a water change, get my fertilizers back to the correct level, and double check my CO2 to make sure that it was operating correctly, which I'm happy to say that it was working. Dan Squires says the video like spike. Oh, that's right, you guys. We got to do the like spike. Did you 3, 2, 1 hit the like? 1, 2, 4 hit the like? 6, 9, 10 hit the like? I don't know. I have to remind people to hit the like button, and that just feels so weird. It feels so weird to even say that. You know what I mean? Like, hey guys, hit the like button. I guess it's kind of easier to do that. I guess it's kind of easier to do that voice when my nose is all plugged up, though. So that's good. Do the weird Jerry Lewis voice. But you know, not a whole ton of maintenance, but we do have the greenstones in there, which I'll be dealing with probably in Friday's video. I think I'll be showing you guys how I'm sorting through dealing with that. Not a huge ordeal with those, with the green rock and stuff, but it's just definitely a little bit of green algae showing up on stuff. We'll let you know that there is, for sure, a slight imbalance going on in the aquarium, because otherwise that algae wouldn't be showing up. Algae is almost always an indicator of something going on in your planted aquarium that you may or may not want to have going on within your system, you know? So I find algae to be incredibly useful because it is almost always the indicator of something that's up. You know, like green spot algae generally means that I've got too much light going on to something. If I have black beard algae going, that means there's okay, well, I'm going to trail off and act like I answered that. But I do get blackbeard algae from time to time, and blackbeard algae means that I'm normally deficient in my liquid fertilizer. That'd be the easiest way to explain it. And I have extra light hitting something. the easy way to treat for that one is just to make sure that my fertilizers are high enough. And then actually, speaking of Seachem, I actually use Seachem's glutaraldehyde, which is the Seachem Flourish XL. It's got a high concentration of the glutaraldehyde, or you could actually just order some of it in the raw form and water it down if you like. I find that to be a little bit dangerous though, so I just use the Seachem stuff. And if you order it in the raw form, it normally doesn't have like a good label on it, which the Seachem's does. Seachem's has a straight up label that says what's going on. This is the sump for the 240. As you can see, the shrimp colonies in the sumps are growing quite robustly. They are breeding prolifically like crazy. I do have some new shrimp foods and stuff I'll be showing you guys over the next week and a half. Some slight supplements I'm going to be kind of changing up a little bit, along with hopefully figuring out a couple of things that I learned while on the trip, and trying to find something that's sick and see if I can't treat it in the way that was recommended to me from outside, and see if I can't help share some of that information with you guys. Back Wheel Bandit says, hits it as soon as I start watching. Oh, hit the like. You hitting the like right away. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna appreciate that. we have a cozy group here on a Wednesday. We have a cozy group. It's not a whole ton of people out here. I wonder if I'm ever gonna be able to give away a painting. I don't know if we'll ever get to the 1,000. Excuse me. Let's see. Crazy and Wild Baby said, just wanted to say thanks to the mods and people that answered my question yesterday. I got some Pothos and Java Moss to try out. Ooh, liking that. Definitely like that. Like to hear that for sure. I don't know if I really have any questions about what's going on here. The filter floss that I use here is actually from a company called Puro Clean. Let me see if I can't grab a link for you guys real quick. Because I know that I have to find one for Puro Clean Filter Media. Do 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 do. There's the one I get. There's the one I get. Let's get the text link here, you guys. Copy. Paste. Kapow. Well, wherever Andy Graff is, it's in the chat. He was asking me when I was in Germany where I find this stuff, and I find it on Amazon, and I order it up. The one downside is that it doesn't have Prime shipping, so it does take a little while for it to get to your door. But it does show up in a box and always in good shape, and I've been completely happy with it every time I've ordered it. I just need to order it ahead of time. Admiral Blackbeard is here, says, would it be possible to check out the Patreon today and see what's going on in my sump? Should I be worried? Fish are still acting normal. Well, typically I do the Patreon on Friday, but I will clue you in a little bit here, Admiral Blackbeard. Don't be too super stressed out about it, honestly. It's not going to be a big deal. So I wouldn't freak out today. But we'll go in depth on it on Friday. Devin Pepper says, is asking, what's the best budget light in your opinion? The best budget light is a piece of crap, always. I honestly think it's worth spending the $100. I really do. I've tested out super cheap lights. I've tested out medium lights, and I've tested out expensive lights. I realistically think the best thing that you can do is get the right spectrum light. And one of the reasons I recommend the 3.0 is it does all of the things that are the upsides from a cheaper light. For instance, like a 6-bulb T5. One of the upsides of a 6-bulb T5 is that you could change the bulbs out so you can kind of alter the spectrum. You could add some pink light, you could add some blue light, or any of that kind of stuff. But the new Fluval light, you just do that with the app on your phone. It has a crazy good warranty. It's waterproof, whereas the T5 lights aren't. But if there's a cheap light to go for real, it would be a T5. I would recommend a T5. Though at this point, I think realistically, from the years and years of experience I have, getting a good quality light with a real warranty is the huge money saver. That is the big time money saver. Not having to replace bulbs, not having to replace ballasts, not having to replace cheap LED parts that burn out. It's really important, and that stuff piles up. It adds up. It adds up. It adds up. And if you're talking about doing more work and more leg work down the line, that ends up being the huge waste. The huge waste of time is the huge waste of money. And I just, I've tried every cheap way of lighting, and I'm. Hold on a second. Let me get you a link here. Let's see here. Where did it go? I got a link around here somewhere. Wait, I don't think this is the right one. I think this is to t-shirts. I don't know. Let me know. I think that's to t-shirts. Hold on a second, you guys. This will just take a second while I'm looking it up. Whilst I'm looking it up, oh, you guys, I forgot to put in the security code. Of course, the security code is confusing as all get out. Got it. Oh, did I not get it right? Come on now. How did I not get it right? Just log me in, you. Yeah. What's wrong with you? I don't know, man. I'm trying to find it, but this is like a really entertaining show where I'm like over here just like yelling at the thing. Nope, that's the wrong email. Cool. And we got a security code again. Cool. What is that? All right, I can't get the link. All right, screw it. I can't log into this. So I don't know. Oh, Dan Squires got the link. While I was over here bitching about not being able to log into my thing, Dan Squires went and got it and posted it into the chat. So let's just talk about my deficiencies there for a second. But yeah, I honestly would recommend that Fluval 3.0 light. I currently have one of them in my fish room, and I'm using them on the same tank on the 240. It's on the right hand side, and then I have the 2.0s on the left hand side. And I'm happy to say it performs at least as well as the 2.0. With all the added benefits of being able to mess with it, right? So you can actually change the lighting scheme that you want. It has a timer built into it. It's waterproof. It's just pretty bitchin'. Honestly, just my honest opinion. Even the big 4-foot one is only like $185, I think, or $170 or something like that. And it really is my personal opinion that it is worth spending that amount of money. I know that at some points in time, I've talked to so many people that are like, I don't have $170. And I'll tell you this much, I look at it the same way as quality lenses for my camera. It's like, I don't have, hold on, let me check. This thing went on sale. Like, I don't have the $749 for the macro lens that I really need. It's one that I've messed with a little bit. It's the one that I really need / want for my camera to be able to shoot really up close macro shots of stuff like shrimp and plants and stuff like that. Get those really up close detailed pictures. I don't have the $749 for it, so I'm saving my money as time goes on. And the reality is like, I look at it this way. So what is it? 3-4 days ago? 3-4 days ago, I had 4 years sober. Had you told me on day one that I would have 4 years, I would have thought you were completely insane. That's totally crazy. That's forever. That's like a million billion, right? And I know that I've had this conversation many, many times, so I kind of know how it goes. But people are like, people have often been like, well, that's just so much money. I don't have it. It's like, stack your pennies. Stack your pennies. There are super cheap ways to get you through while you stack your pennies. Hold on, a light like this. So, like a clip-on light like this, okay? It just takes a socket, like a regular screw. What is it, the E35 or whatever? Regular socket. These little things, you can find them like at a garage sale for basically free, and that's something that can definitely get you through in the meantime. That's like basically free. It's like super cheap. You can get a compact fluorescent, put that in there, and it's just going to be kind of fugly and not that great for very long, but that is a really cheap way to do it and get through while you kind of like save up your pennies and buy a quality light. I don't recommend the Kessels, even though the Kessels are expensive. They're like a spotlight, which almost never works out great for anybody. And to be able to dial it in and out is twice as expensive as the one that doesn't have the dimmer on it, which is just seems asinine to me that anybody would sell that. So I really think that, like, personally, I really think that the Fluval is, that 3.0 light is cost, quality, all the accessories built into it. It's just hitting right in that point where it's not $300, $400, $500, $600 like a lot of the reef lights are that do that. I get that it's not free, but I really do think it is like a real quality product. That's just, it's just hitting all of that stuff. Is it the brightest light you've ever seen? Probably not. It's probably not the brightest light that you've ever seen. There are some brighter lights out there, but those are generally more focused and don't necessarily spread over your whole tank. Vicky and I have one of the Fluval 2.0s over her 75 gallon, which is, it's a 4-foot long tank. And I forget what it is front to back. What is it, like 18 inches front to back? I think. Could be wrong. 20 inches? I don't know. But it's enough spread to light up that whole entire 75, and that's just one of them. So, whereas, like, if you were to get Kessels, for instance, it would be a bunch of them. And a lot of the cheaper brand lights out there, there are cheaper ones that you could get, but they don't have a warranty, right? Or at least a warranty that actually you could do anything with. A lot of the warranties out there are like, yeah, you send it back to us at your cost, and then we'll fix it and send it back to you. It's like, oh, cool. So I'm not going to have a light for 3 weeks while you guys do whatever you do. Whereas Fluval is not that way. I'm starting to get like more congested over here. So that realistically, it's just kind of the best bet. I would just save up a couple bucks and get that. and get that light just the same as I'm saving up for this macro lens. I really want to get some of those macro lens shots. Not to dwell too much on this book, but like there are some obviously a lot of big shots in here, but like I mean you can't get these real crazy shots right without a good macro lens. And luckily I had the ear of a guy who photographs like all the shrimp around, right? It's so dope. And he was like, yeah, that's definitely the lens that you want. So I was just like, cool. I just got verified by the guy's mouth. I didn't even like get an email or anything goofy like that. Talk to you in person. Wonderful people, Chris Lukup and his wife. We had a lovely dinner with them and stuff, and it was definitely 2 thumbs up for sure. Definitely super cool. So, but I look at it the same way with those lights. Is that just start saving your pennies and just go and just get them. I mean, there are other companies out there that are making they're released some new lights and stuff like that. Like I think Twin Stars was public. Twin Stars coming out with a light at some point in time, which I've heard some good stuff for. I don't think any of the Finex are really like even warrantyable, so that could be a problem for a lot of people. But realistically, once I found the Fluvols, I'm not really entertaining any other lights unless somebody really wants me to test one out. Just because, like I said, it hits all of those, like all of the markers of what I'm looking for, like being able to eliminate light timers, right? And actually just have them be digital light timers. Like, if I never have to set a timer like thing ever again, I'd be super happy. I'd be super stoked for that. Whoever made these outlets that are supposed to do that I own over here that don't do that, I would like to throw them at them. But I'm not going to. Just because it seems like a big waste of time. Dan Squire says, mine doesn't have an app. You're what? Do you have a Fluval 3.0? You should get one. It has the app. You can set the timer and the light spectrum on it. It even has the sun up and sun down like ramp up. So you can actually have it like slowly get lighter and lighter. Of which I think is a pretty cool feature if it's something that you're into. But yeah, let's see what other questions we got before this turns into the Fluval show. Fish Girl from Connecticut is saying, any suggestions to curb aggression amongst fish? Had read something about adding a bigger fish to throw off the attention of the fighting. Anyone try this and have any suggestions? White skirt tetras, you have 8 of them. You don't have enough tetras. That's going to be the answer with that, is that you don't have enough tetras. You essentially just don't have enough tetras to spread out the aggression for them to actually be schooling. So they start to become basically like more independent and start fighting anybody else that's around them. It's sort of like if you put a dog in a kennel for a really long time that was like a friendly dog, now it might bite you. So whereas the tetras always need to be in a big school. Maybe somebody at the local fish store said 8 was enough. I personally wouldn't go 8 is enough. It's just not. I just don't think it's enough for tetras. Like, it's just not a big enough school. So I would at least double it if you can, if that's a possibility for you. I would at least double it. I would probably take the 8 tetras out that you have now, and when you get the new one, or not like take them out right now, but let's say you go get 20 more of them and you bring them home. I would put them all into the quarantine tank, run them all through meds before bringing them back into the aquarium. It would be best to have them all in a tank all at the same time. And in order to do that, here's what you want to do. So you want to bring home the new fish, put them in a bag in the quarantine tank, float them in there, just to acclimate them a little bit, get the temperature up. And you want to net all the other ones out, keep them in a net, then have another net that you can dump the dirty fish store water out, but catch the fish, dump them all into the tank, and cover it up so it's kind of blacked out overnight. Then turn on the light the next day. You can have all your meds in there and stuff. Keep them all quarantined for 2 to 3 weeks before you add them back into the current tank that they're living in right now. That's what you're going to want to do. And then they will all essentially just be a school after that. And, I would say with tetras, you probably want 20 to 30 at least. I did a couple hundred when I put them in the 240. You definitely, the bigger school, the better. They're in gigantic schools in the wild. So, it's like the unfortunate thing. I see people buy 2 or 3 autosynclus from the store, bring them home. That is not enough. Autosynclus live in schools of like 1 million. So they need a lot of company all of the time. Huge J-Mac is saying, I believe 2 are needed for it to look good on a 75. Not in my experience. I do a lot of planted tanks, and I do not think you need 2 Fluval 3.0s on a 75. That would just be generally just too much light for most people to handle. Alyssa just bought a light. Looking forward to setting up a 75-gallon bow front. That's cool. Kudos. Glad to hear that. Sean Nebula says, if you are on a budget, I still suggest going LED on that. I would for sure. I would just definitely just tell anybody out there to go LED. It's just going to be the best way to go. I don't know if anybody, I'm trying to see if we had a follow-up, any of the follow-up questions. Scott McGovern saying water chem is high nitrate, very hard water, and very acidic, below 6. Even after 50% water changes, suggestions to raise the pH, crushed coral, have a large pleco. Your water sounds completely insane, but yes, add crushed coral to buffer the pH up a little bit. That would be the best way to do it. Beach Night Production. That sounds racy. Beach Night Production. What's up? It says, hey Corvus, greetings from Canada. So happy you're back. Makes for entertaining water changes. I'll give you a thumbs up. Beach Night Production. Digging it. Hopefully you get to see. I wonder if you have like videos of like minnows on the beach at night or anything like that. Excuse me. That's killing me. Challenger says, gotta lurk. Whoa. I understand. One Man Aquarium says, hey Joel, have you ever seeded an aquascape? Yes, I've tried the dry start method. I'm going to tell you guys something. I've tried the dry start method with seeds a bunch. I've tried it a bunch of times. And just like the light question, I'm not saying that Fluval is the only LED light that you guys can get for your aquarium. I just ran through a couple of them. There are some good ones out there. If you do have a nano tank, Fluval makes that little nano light also. That 3.0 goes all the way down to tiny. But there are other good ones out there. I just not right off the top of my head. Fluval's just kind of in the front of my mind right now. So there might be some better options out there. If you guys do have some better options, throw them in the comments down below. Like, don't be afraid to be like, hey, check out this light. Hey, check out this light. Just remember, if you're like a huge douche about it, like I just categorize all the people that are being huge douches just into the douche category and then send you packing. You know what I mean? Because that's just how the world works. You know what I mean? But I'm more than happy to look into or field some comments and stuff from you guys. If you have some cool products out there And by the way, I am on the hunt for cool products to check out and stuff like that. So, feel free to post any of that kind of stuff where I can get a hold of it. The Patreon is a great spot where you can do that too. You can always post up into the community page on the Patreon. Oh, and that's right. I did have a comment, or I had a message from Bracken earlier, and I was trying to text you back or message you back on my phone, but it wasn't working on my phone for whatever reason. I don't know. My phone is having problems, you guys. Ever since it went to Europe, it's been having emotional issues. But I will get back to you on that plant issue. I'm still, Oh, I got a. Wait, what? What's going on here? Where's the one from today? There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So, I'm still identifying that Ludwigia that you brought for me. I'm growing it out in my sump, and I'm working on identifying it. But I think so far it looks like you're right. I do not think it is Repens. It's growing a little differently than Repens, but then again, we always have to deal with the street names these days, Bracken says you could just text me too. That's a good point, Bracken. I could text you. I'm a little loopy from not feeling well. This cold is kind of rocking my socks off. Plus, I had to do a lot of runaround today, which happy to say I got most of it done, so not a big deal. Noah Nolasco says, hi, Beamworks full spectrum light works for me on my 75 planted tank. Yeah, I didn't think of Beamworks light didn't pop into my head. But yes, Beamworks can do fairly well. I was never happy with the eye, by actually looking at it or taking pictures with the beams work when I had them in the past. And they're kind of unreliably janky, in my opinion. Like the switches broke. I had issues with the legs, the actual leg parts. And the plastic cover on it was never really like super awesome. One of the one of the reasons I recommend the Fluval Light is that it does have that good warranty that if something was to be broken or something like that, they will cover the warranty, so that's kind of a big deal for me. And the look of it was not great. I think it probably does grow plants pretty well, but I just wasn't happy with the look of it, personally, just how I felt. Randy Hightower says, I've had good luck with Phoenix Stingrays, but we got them a few years ago. I think Phoenix's quality has gone right off a cliff as far as I can tell, as far as their production quality goes. I know almost everybody that's been dealing with Phoenix stuff, not me personally, it's just a lot of the people I know in the community and whatnot, have not been happy with Phoenix's quality that they're putting out there. I think last time I was talking to Steenfot, I think he said he was going to do some crazy stuff with his Phoenix, a.k.a. break them, because he was pretty frustrated with how badly they were going for him. Scott McGovern, water out of tap is 6.2. Only thing I can think of is did not do enough water changes with Pleco pooping a lot. Fish seem healthy, got some test strips and discovered the imbalance. Yeah, I mean, it just realistically to me, it sounds like your system is just kind of out of balance. You know what I mean? But yeah, you could definitely get some crushed coral. Just get that thing up to 7 pH, and you'll be fine. High nitrate, easy to deal with. You could either do water change or add more plants. Pothos or anything immersed growing above the water is going to help out with that nitrate and just hammer it super fast and get rid of it. Johnny O'Free said, I have a headache, but I just won on Fortnite. I know everybody's going crazy for Fortnite. I wonder what the next game is going to be. I wonder what the next game after Fortnite is going to be. And how do I get a beta release ahead of time? Who doesn't want some of that ninja money? right? Oh my gosh, we got a $5 super chat from the Fishy Mailman saying, Gerald, glad you and Corgi made it back safe. Feel better, brother. Yeah, that's just, I'm just kind of down on the weather, I'm just kind of, the weather's over on top of me, and I kind of feel like the Dayquil I took earlier is kind of starting to wear off now. Because I'm getting all boogery and stuff, and it's a disaster. But luckily we're not in person, so no one's in risk of getting sneezy surprises. Whoa. Sneeze rises? Sneeze prizes? Sneeze prizes. There we go. That could be our new thing from today. Sneeze prizes. I don't know how to spell that. How do I spell that? Oh, whoops. Put it. That's not the right. There we go. Sneeze prizes. I think I got it. The Alyssa Bentley says the Phoenix 24/7 Planted Plus is for sure better than the Marineland Plant Light I got. I would agree with that. I guess just one of the biggest things with that Fluval Light is that it really just does come through on all the. I'm just saying it just hits all those marks for me. I personally wouldn't buy anything from Phoenix just because of their warranty situation is a disaster. So that's going to be a problem. But thank you, Fishy Mailman, for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate it. I will feel better. I will get better. I am taking my vitamin C. I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to, eating my vegetables. I ate an avocado. I'm so happy to be back on my standard diet. The road diet is not that great, even though Kobe and I were lucky to have in the restaurant or in the bottom floor of the hotel where we stayed in Germany, had a primo breakfast every day. I'm telling you, top notch, man. I'm telling you, like soft boiled eggs. They had scrambled eggs, sausage and bacon, and then like nice toast and croissant and little coffee cake and sliced meats and cheeses and fresh fruit. They had yogurt out there every day, you guys. They had yogurt out there and 3 different kinds of honey. You know what I'm saying? They had Greek yogurt and 3 different kinds of honey. You could win me over with some scrambled eggs and some Greek yogurt with honey. I think pretty much anyone gets my thumbs up for breakfast time. And probably like a heel of bread or something would be pretty much my optimal breakfast realistically. Now, if you start to get fancy schmancy on me and start busting out with some like avocado kale raspberry smoothie, something like that, I don't think you'd get rid of me if you had that thing if you had something like that every morning. I don't think people would be able to get rid of me, but they didn't have that. But it's definitely top notch for the breakfast. But realistically, like the lunches and the dinners were always like super heavy, kind of stuff. But I'm happy to be back on my regularly scheduled kind of diet around here of vegetables, a little bit of meat and rice, for dinner. And, kind of my standard issue breakfast and lunch and stuff. So happy to be back here. Definitely taking my my cold vitamins and try to get back on track. I think by Friday I'll be fine. Scott McGovern says he loves honey, and I agree. Me too. I love it. If you got multiple kinds, it freaks me out and makes me happy. Randy Hightower says Tropical Fish World and Pets is back open. They closed in Sumner almost a year ago, but recently reopened in Bonnie Lake. Ooh. Let me check this out. Bonnie Lake. What up? I'm trying to remember. I think I went to this place. They only got a 1-star review. They got a 1-star review from Jorge Rodriguez, who said, "This is just the local fish store from Sumner. Total dump." That's not a very good review, you guys. That's about as bad as it gets. But I think I remember talking to these guys at one point in time, a long time ago, about getting some them getting some crystal shrimp from me, but they never ordered anything. So I don't know. But that's a terrible review. Well, probably have to go out there and get some reviews for them. Let me see how far it is. Hold on. Oh. Let me search for that. And then, where's the map section? Maps! From me. I want directions, bruh. Give me some directions, bruh. Oh, I gotta put in my address. I have location turned off. Really? There. Let's see how far away that is from me. Oh, that's only 36 minutes, you guys. That's only 36 minutes away. I might have to make a little trek out there one of these days. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll go out there and see how if it's good or bad. And if it's bad, I won't do a review. If it's good, I'll put up a Google review and maybe refute their 1-star situation. I don't know. Might be a bit of a hike to just go out and check out a store, though, and I don't really need anything at this point. Other than just needing to get to work on my fish room, which is going to be the thing I'm definitely going to be doing over the next little while anyhow. Let's see who posted that. Randy Hightower. Yeah, Randy. I'll be down to go check it out at some point in time. It's not like a super far drive. It might be a shorter drive. Like right now is like getting pretty trafficy, so that could be the problem. As I said, it was only 23 miles from me. I don't know why it would take 36 minutes to get there if it's the freeway. But maybe I'll run out there and check it out and see if it's any good, because tomorrow's job got canceled, so maybe I'm not making any money tomorrow, but I'll go stupidly spend money on a day that I should be working and making money, but you know, not going to be doing that tomorrow. So Alyssa Bentley says, whatever. I like checking out every fish store within 100 miles of Seattle, but I'm crazy. Yeah, I'll probably head out there. I mean, I just don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Let's see. Let's see. Try to catch up with the chat here real quick. Bracken says, sometimes very, very expensive, but they had the best. Where did it go? What? Oh, sometimes very, very expensive, but they had the best selection of fish in 50 miles aside from the co-op. Okay. That does make sense. So, yeah, I would be happy to check it out. I didn't really like the... Jesse Oliver says it looks like they have a 4.4 star rating. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, here's a different one. Okay, they got a 5-star rating here from 2011 and 2009. I don't really trust that. Tropical Fish World. The old closed one has a 4-star rating from the old closed one, but the new page that they have up. Oh, here we go. Let me see. Oh, here's a different one. Here's a Facebook one. So let's see what the Facebook one. Oh, now I've got 1 million chats opened up. Great. Everybody's messaging me on Facebook. 9.8 out of 10 based on the opinion of 56 people. Okay. So they've gotten 56 reviews. They got a big pile of Aquarium 55 LED aquarium kits. Oh, that's definitely one thing that I wanted to tell you guys about. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys like want to watch a show where where I'm just surfing the internet? It's ridiculous. Sorry about that. But that's one of the things I would like to tell you about is that the people in Europe don't understand like how cheap aquariums are in the U.S. Like the dollar per gallon sale and stuff like that, like just blows up the market here in America versus Europe. Tanks are not cheap in Europe. They're not cheap to get. You can't buy them all super cheap like you can in the States. So I had to constantly tell people like, dude, look, tanks are super cheap in the States. So if you think you want to compete with anything like that, you got to be losing money on tanks. So see that all the time. Like those guys had those 155 full kits for $160 on sale or something. And like just sparked to remember like, oh yeah, this stuff is super cheap out there, you know? But people in Europe were like, I don't understand. What do you mean? Like tanks are dirt cheap in the States. Unless you have like a special custom tank coming, which we may or may not have one of those coming to the fish room. I don't know if anybody's paying attention to what I'm talking about, but did anybody hear that? T-Frakes Tanks, what's up with the $5 chat saying to catching 2 shows in 1 week for the first time in like 2 months. Thanks again for the answers and replies last show, everyone, and congrats again. Thank you very much. I'm very excited for this baby, you guys. I'm excited for this baby. Vicky Tori is a little bit upset that we didn't get married yet, but I did have to remind her that, you know, it's 2018. I don't think anybody's going to judge us on that. I think it's going to be fine. And I think she'll be happily appreciative when she finds out why that hasn't happened yet. But thank you very much, T-Frakes Tanks. I appreciate it. You know, it's guys like you. It's the whole reason I show up here, man. If I can help you guys out, I get stoked. Crazy and Wild Baby had company come over, had to leave. Oh, no. That's the worst, except company is awesome. I love company. Bracken says 4.4 on your end. I don't know. I'm not seeing that. But either way, doesn't matter. I'll go there at some point in time. We'll figure it out. And then I'll just give you guys my opinion, not someone else's opinion. Not Jorge's. I don't want to go around living this life giving out Jorge's opinion on things. You know what I mean? So I'll go out there and I'll check it out and I'll let you guys know what I think. Dylan Zarabi. Okay, Dylan Z. Sorry. Found 120 gallon on the side of the road. One side is cracked all the way. How should I replace, or is it a lost cause? If it's a glass tank, you're going to have to replace the panel. If it's acrylic, good luck. I mean, I know how to do it. Explaining it would take forever, and actually doing it would take a long time. Let's see. Kaudata, how many bubble per minute for a CO2 system on a 75 gallon? Depends on your light. Just if you have a ton of light going into it, about 3 bubbles a second. If you have kind of medium light, 1 to 2 is going to be plenty. It doesn't need to be. You don't need to go totally buck wild with the CO2. But if you are adding more and more fertilizers and stuff, remember that you need to up your CO2 also. So more light, number 1, more fertilizer. Number 2, you're gonna need more CO2 to allow your plants to keep growing robustly, quickly, and just maintaining their structure as they grow too. That's pretty important. Carbon is the base. We're carbon-based life forms. Danny Lawrence is here, wondering if you made it live. Yes, you did. Good work. Coming on out. Remember, everybody, you got to share this thing out. We have to do it. We have to be the ones that do it. The Oceaneers are responsible for sharing it out because YouTube doesn't want to. I don't know why. I think they must think it costs some money or something. They don't want to send out too many notifications because it drives people crazy. So we have to share it out, you guys. We have to share it out. We just have to, you know? Like, it's just the way it is. I tried to tell people to, like, set their alarms on their phone and stuff like that, but that's a little bit goofy. That's a little bit weird. That's what I do, and I know I'm weird, so that's a little bit goofy to ask people to do that, but we have to share it out and just let things happen, right? Fishy Mailman says, to paraphrase an LRB aquatic stream, having a baby and committing to take care of them and raise them is far larger commitment than marriage nowadays. Just saying. That actually is a really good point, Fishy Mailman, for sure. That's what I'm committed to do. So that's what I'm all about, and that's how that's going to go down. And I have reminded that to Vicky Toria that's what up. Like she ain't alone, and that ain't how it's going to go down. So hopefully that's a consolation prize in the meantime, right? Let's see. RJL, I get all my notifications about 20 minutes late. Yeah, well, we're an hour and 40 minutes in, so if you just got it, that's a little while. That's a little later than 20 minutes, but good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Frank Dominguez is here yelling dank. Scott McGovern says, Joel, you will be an amazing father. I really hope so. I really hope to make you correct. That is really what I hope. I hope to make you be correct in that assumption. Bracken says, looks like the new location in Bonnie Lake is larger. Couldn't find any pictures of the fish, but it looks like it would be a good store. I hope it's a good store. I'll be happy to go check it out. I'm always, as you guys know, I'm always like saying first option is local fish store if you can do that. Second option is online stuff. With people like Kobe from the Aquarium Coop, which a lot of stuff you can get from him online if you're in the States, if you can't get it from your local fish store. But fish, I just so rarely do I ever even consider buying fish online anymore because I really like to be able to check out their quality in person as opposed to just assuming that somebody that's posted something online is legit. Oh, Danny Lawrence says, Joel sent you an email about the Fluval stratum. Think is currently a bare bottom. How do you go about putting substrate in? Danny, I got that email, and I totally forgot to get back to you. And the time I had put away to return emails was going to be later this evening. So, but I don't think that that's necessarily a great deal because the link that you sent me was $54 for 22 pounds. Whereas you can get the 17 pound, what is it? 17.7 pound or something on Amazon. Hold on a minute. Let me find a link for it. Let me find some. Oh, that's a 2-pack. Where's the 1-pack? Well, I don't know. Because let's see. So that'd be, you'd get 22 pounds for $70, or you'd get, let's see. Let me do the math here. 35 pounds for $71. Where's the single bag? Oh, the single bag's 44. But the single bag is 17.6. Okay. Yeah, let me get the text link for that. Copy. Paste. Kabam! So the individual bag is like $44. I think it has a coupon. Yeah, it has a 20% off coupon applied to the first order. So 2, 4, 6, 8. That'll take $8 off, maybe $9. It'll take $9 off the $44.99 on Amazon. So $33 for 17 pounds of it. That's about right. Yeah, so $33 for 17 pounds off of Amazon right now. Make sure you use that link so people know that I sent you, right? being super poor over here right now. But that link I just put in there would be a better deal than those little 5 bags. Because if you can buy it in bulk, you could always just put it into Ziplocs or even just tape the bag up or whatever, just so it doesn't get like water in it, and it'll be fine. So that's the one that I would go for, or I would just get the 2 big bags for $70. But that's not same day shipped. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me check this out. I'm gonna put. Let me see. I want 2. Let's go 2 bags. And then, where's the details? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Amazon. But being ridiculous. Oh. Okay, so 20% off of 88, so 30. Yeah, it's about the same, but it's 1 day. But it's 1 day shipping, so you just get it shipped to you faster. You know, which isn't that bad. But, yeah, so we're kind of winding up on the end of the show. It's got super rambly and weird, but I think it was interactive, which is kind of the whole reason for the to do the live show, to be able to interact with you guys a little bit. I know that I'm a little bit spacey today. Sorry about that, guys. But we did have a video segment. We're back to getting the video segment into the show, which I think is good. But what do you all think about, before we get going here, I would like to ask a poll. We've got 123 people watching right now, is what my counter says here. What do you guys think? Quick, get to your keyboard. Let me know what you think. And if you're watching the replay on this, I would like to hear what you think down into the comments. What do you guys think about the short videos? What do you guys think right now? Should I be focusing on making more short videos for you all, or what? Because I'm wondering what y'all think. Bracken's asking where you finding the 20% off on the Amazon. It's on the Amazon link right there. Extra 20%. Extra savings. Right there. Coupon. Get a coupon. Dun, dun, dun. Or you could even order just the 8.8 pound ones for $22 and get the free 1 day. Oh, that's a 20% off for the subscription. Well, that's problematic. That's my bad. But, you know. So, yeah, I'm just wondering. Jeff Rose says he thinks, meh. Freshman doesn't like him. Dan Squire says he doesn't like. Why does everybody say they don't like him? That's weird. You guys, everybody says you hate him. Groomer Girl says more. I'm just giving you guys a hard time. Leonie Ballantyne really likes the ones I do in one take. Well, I can only do some of those. Karen likes them a lot. Enjoy them and picking up useful info. I like them. It's good to have some Sunday videos. Only others are Mr. Noodle Eggs and Peck Tech. Fish Paradise says short. All right. So I think overall resounding, you guys like the short videos. So I'm going to keep hammering on them. And I would, honestly, it feels like a douche move to ever even mention, Patreon and things like that. But I did realize that I was kind of reviewing it the other day, and we never even hit the mark to do a fully edited weekly video, and I've just been doing them. And it almost feels like I'm not supposed to do them because we were supposed to hit the goal on Patreon, but it seems pretty irrelevant now because I've been doing 2 to 3 every week plus all the live streams, and that's just kind of where we're at. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and it's either one of two things. Either we hit that goal and then it looks like it makes sense to outsiders, or I just throw away that goal and just leave the giant goal on there. Because I think our big goal is the only other one. Oh, no, I guess okay, there's another goal, and then there's the big goal of the 20,000 gallon tank going in. But I don't know. Hopefully we hit the mark on the Patreon, and we'll see what happens. But as you guys know, this is a labor of love. I'm definitely putting a lot of energy into this, and I'm digging it. I love doing it. I love being able to come out here and talk to you guys and stuff. So it feels like I have like a cool convention like 3 times a week. So I think one of the biggest things is let's try and grow. So remember to share this stuff out. I looked at how many shares. So last month, right? So last month, hold on. I don't want to misquote myself. Let me see here. Where'd that thing go? Videos manager. We got to go down here and what's it loading? Oh, super good. Load. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, man, we got to go back even further. '23, 24. So we had 24 videos. So I did 24 videos last month, which is almost once a day, which is kind of crazy. So I did 24 videos last month. A lot of them 2-hour live streams and stuff. And we only had 204 shares, which I don't think is a great number. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a good number as far as YouTube's concerned. So hopefully we can up the ante. If anybody's got time to do it, I hyper appreciate it. So, you know, I'm gonna keep up the mix. I'm gonna keep working and try and get as much content to you guys as possible. I don't know. Maybe this cold will be the death of me, and then I'll just be gone one day. Who knows? David Lopez with the last minute super chat, $2 saying, "I appreciate the content. That's not hashtag fake news. I appreciate it. I appreciate your appreciation." Right? So I definitely appreciate you guys coming out. I do my best to kind of filter through the nonsense and try to pass things on to you as best I can. Try to not keep it, or try to keep it like basically understandable. And hopefully it's helping you guys out. If not, I don't know, come to Aquatic Experience and tell me I'm an idiot. So that'll be fun, right? Hashtag Fluval's tripping. Alyssa Jackson says the short videos are good for looking things up. Oh yeah, the one other thing I wanted to talk about YouTube for a second was I have 755 videos up. That doesn't sound good if I only have 13,000 subscribers. As somebody was pointing out the other day, if you've been working on something like this for this long and you're only doing this well, you probably don't want to tell people about it. But I will say this. The thing that, all right, so as we get up to the end of the show here, a bunch of people left because they heard the end of the show was coming. So you guys obviously are at least mildly interested in the ramblings of this weirdo right here. So I want to tell you guys something. One of the pieces of information that correlated directly to owners of multi-millions of dollars, right? One of the things that was easy to point out to them was take a look at the Patreon number here, right? I could like show them the Patreon and go, here's how many people want me to just make content, right? And CEOs would look at that and go, oh, okay. Cool. That's awesome. It would directly something would twitch in their head and they would just go like, oh, okay, you have a number. So it really is, I'm really eternally grateful to kind of open the eyes, that you guys open the eyes to some people that really, like, probably just didn't get it. They probably just didn't get that, like, that the Oceaneers are awesome, that you guys are awesome, you know, just because the numbers don't make a lot of sense. I mean, even if you walked up and you were like, I got 500,000 subscribers, what up, dude? Let's do some work. They're just like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what that means, right? It really is one of those things that is a pretty, it was really cool, you guys, and I just wanted to express my appreciation of that, that I was able to just show those guys a Patreon and be like, here's how many people want me to keep showing them stuff or talking to, you know, helping you guys out and stuff like that. So that was huge. And thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, because that was really the one tool that I had when I was in Europe, outmatched and outgunned by people that just, it was zero loss to them to just be like, nah, get out of here. Because, you know, they were still gonna, it wouldn't change anything in their life if they just told me no. So it was a really big deal with everybody chipping in $5, $1, $10 a month. Really was sort of affirmed that, like, you know, people like CEOs and stuff just kind of go like, oh, okay. And it just related to them, like, straight up. So that was pretty cool. And I want to say thanks to you guys for always being super supportive and stuff. Tim the Towel says that painting is pretty rad. Cool, man. Make me an offer. Everything's for sale. I got to pay these bills. No, everything's fine, you guys. But everything is for sale, painting-wise, that's for sure. Come on, bud. Come on. Oh, Mr. Chip's coming up for the last couple minutes. We've got a $10 super chat here from Danny Lawrence, and I feel like I don't want to let the guy down. I guess I'll be here until that one runs out. So we'll see what happens. Dan Squire says you can get the stickers of that painting right there, or you can get that painting on a shirt if you wanted to rock that around. If you want to be cool like Turbofish or Gone Mad, who are at the American Libraries Association, right? So if you want to get a shirt, you can. Nobody really bought any shirts this month, so I'm going to have to be making a new shirt. That's basically what one of the things I've been working on while Vicky comes over here, and she's like, why are you clicking? You're clicking away a bunch on the computer. What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm designing a new shirt, and it takes a really long time to get it right. So we are designing some new shirts. The old ones will still be available if you guys want to check those out. Luckily, Teespring allows them to just stay up there sort of forever, I guess, or whatever. $10 super chat from Danny says your content keeps me going while I am out here on the road trucking. I am only home 4 to 5 days a month. Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal work, my man. Hopefully you got like a long-term plan to I don't know, get more time at home or something like that. Because I know the long haul trucking can be good money for a while, but I know it's like almost every long haul guy's like got a screwed up back that I know. So hopefully you got a long term plan, because a lot of the long haul truckers that I knew were able to implement a long term plan and live a pretty good lifestyle once they kind of racked it up and got it all figured out. Daniel Sherry says, scary? I don't know. Got to cover that cost all them burner phones. Yeah. Big thanks to my cell phone providers telling me to buy a burner phone in Europe. You know, that's super easy, right? Let's see. Zombie Drummer's stoked for some new shirts. Yep, I'll be getting some new shirts out. Hopefully, I'll be printing those locally. That'll be pretty cool. Denise Blender. Come on now. Come on, reading eyes. How did I screw that up? I threw an L in there. How ridiculous. Denise Bender says, Joel, did you miss your coffee? Luckily, cappuccino is huge in Germany. They're like, would you like a cappuccino? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, boom, here you go. So definitely had plenty of coffee while I was out there. And if you go to my community tab on YouTube, hold on, let me pull this up. I'll pull it up. This will take a second. Let's see here. Oh, hold on, Mr. Duty. I call Mr. Chips Mr. Duty sometimes. He's a duty head. Come on, phone. Can you pull up the stuff? Community tab. Oh, yeah, by the way, they made a Bohemian Rhapsody. There's a Queen movie coming out, which looks freaking amazing. I am excited. Is there anything cool? So while I was in Germany, I posted a picture here. I found Mr. Brown's at a gas station. Of course, the camera can't really pick that up. There we go. So I found him. I found Mr. Brown's at a gas station. It was pretty crazy. Super random too. Super random gas station out in the middle of BFE, and managed to find him, and was just like, what? Of course, I took the crappiest picture ever of it, where it's all like underexposed and hard to see what's going on in it. But I still got the picture nonetheless, and I'll be able to have that forever. It'll be a keepsake forever, which was pretty awesome. I found one there. I only bought one, mainly because I didn't have a lot of euros. So, and I don't want to run my card at a random gas station in the weirdest place ever. All right, guys, we're coming up here on the end of the show. Mr. Chip says it's dinner time, and we're going to have to go rock out with our doggy pupper dinner time. So I hope everybody has a fantastic night out there in the world. As I mentioned yesterday on the Real Fish Talk, one of my neighbor's houses burned down, and I think... Whoa. That was crazy. Whoa, I gotta go because I'm sneezing. One of my neighbor's houses burned down because I was sneezing. This is like, well, that came out of nowhere. But I think it has something to do with that fireworks nonsense that's going on, right? I would have to think it. So, don't light off any fireworks out there. Have a fantastic Wednesday, whatever it is, and I'll be hollering at y'all later. I don't know why CJ's always hiding the button.